Okay, hi guys. We got a game in the Crystal League of. Oh, okay, so the team names haven't updated, apparently, it looks like. Which is. Oh, okay. Sorry for the UI saying where it's Eden versus Poggers. It is not the finals of last season. But yeah, we have Skyward Academy versus Mirage White tonight, and I'm joined on the caster desk by, don't know Jack.
Hey guys, how's it going? We're getting right into Champ Select here. Going ahead and getting this game on the road. It's a little bit late to get started, so we're jumping right into it.
Yeah, if you guys hear a bunch of clickety-clack keyboard stuff, that's just me changing the UI, so it has all the correct info on it.
Looks like we got mostly top jungle bands coming out of Mirage White here, targeting top half of the map of Skyward Academy, while Skyward Academy is pointed straight at bot lane.
Yeah, interesting to know about this patch is the fact that Storm Razor now only costs 2,800. Like, that is insanely low.
Instant first round for Skyward Academy. They lock in the Xayah Rakan bot lane.
Definitely good. Rakan did get some light nerfs. Granted, the Q nerfs didn't really do much, and the ulti nerfs hit him a little. The biggest nerfs to him might have been the sustain changes to supports, with the support items now costing 400 instead of 350.
Yeah, he definitely got some light nerfs, but still think that lane has a lot of potency to it.
For sure.
See how they fare.
Yeah, it didn't nerf like what makes it really strong. The fact that Rakan can just go in and has the about 1,300 range E to just dash away to the Xayah gives him extreme safety, and especially if he messes up an engage.
It's really interesting to me that that they chose to pick the Alistar straight into that lane. Xayah's able to deal with Alistar really easily, especially in a tower dive situation where she can just R the combo and then he's effectively useless against her.
Yeah, we did see that Alistar also locked in with the Orianna, though, so there might be a wombo combo going on. Mirage could just be looking for team fights later. Well, focusing that pick for team fights later on.
That's true. Just be curious to see where they plan to get their engage from, because Alistar's a primary engage isn't very useful without his flash up, and they've already locked in the Trundle for jungle, I'm assuming. So they won't really be getting too much of an engage from support or jungle.
Yeah. Yeah, the way it'd have to work for Alistar if it's just him, I'd assume would have to be either a flank, flash as you said, or maybe Righteous Glory.
That's true. Righteous Glory does give him the ability to catch up to the enemy team.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of mobility coming out from Skyward Academy between the Echo, Xayah, and Rakan all being able to get away pretty quickly.
Rakan is like one of the most mobile supports, and then the ulti on both Xayah and Echo just gives them a whoopsie button.
Got a couple more 80 carry bands coming out from Skyward Academy. All 5 of their bands are focused bot lane.
Unless that's a mid lane Morgana ban. But we haven't seen that in ages. We'll see what Mirage decides to respond with here. They have been keeping up the heavy top lane focus in terms of their bans. Although, Yasuo could also be mid and ADC. There's the Xin Zhao. Gonna be targeted at Winteke since we haven't seen Xin Zhao top in forever.
That's very true. Not really sure if Xin Zhao is viable top lane anymore after he got his changes, but we do have the Kled coming out from Skyward Academy. See what Mirage decides to pick into that.
Interesting, they pick up the Kled now. I thought they would want to save that for a last pick, just so they could give Ado the counter pick here. But it is going to give Worlds Collide the counter pick. Maybe they just wanted to give Winteke more options to pick his jungler. I don't know. We are going to see the Sivir, though, and that is going to help facilitate that engage with that ulti.
That's true. That does give them another form of engage. When we were talking about it earlier, I was thinking they may go with an Ashe, but they would just be so lacking in damage with their comp.
Mm-hmm. Well,
But the Sipper definitely rounds that out.
yeah, thing is, Sivir's damage, it's like... It feels okay. Since she doesn't have like any damage stores besides getting attack speed on when she presses W after 6. And combine that with the 500 attack range, it can feel like she doesn't do the most damage, but she does make up for that with the utility of her wave clear and ulti, of course.
Yeah, I think both teams have quite a bit of team fight here. Really just depends on how far ahead that Echo gets. If Echo is able to put some heavy pressure onto the back line of mainly the Orianna, I think that they have a strong team fight. But if that Orianna can get ahead or the Camille can get ahead, the Skyward Academy team will be hard pressed to match that type of pressure.
Mm-hmm. And another thing to point out is that APT on this Trundle can stuff any Zac engages from Windeke if he gets the right pillar down. Since it does interrupt the Elastic Slingshot channel, and I forget if it interrupts you while you're in midair. But yeah.
Are you talking about Camille E? I'm sorry?
Trundle pillar.
Trundle Pillar absolutely does interrupt Zac E.
Midair?
He can knock him out of the air with that.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Zac, not too popular of a pick these days. Seems to, especially with the Scuttle Crab changes, have fallen off somewhat in popularity.
Yeah, not to mention, since after the, his mini rework from the mini tank class update last season, he was, since he was really popular and really highly played for a long time, he just got so many nerfs. And just kind of added up, I think.
Yeah, definitely not really. If he won't be able to contest that Trundle over Scuttle Crabs if they run into one another early game, he just can't stand toe to toe with the Trundle's early dueling power. But he should have two lanes, specifically his bot and mid, that will have pressure. Both of those lanes should be able to maintain somewhat of an advantage early game to maybe give him an edge on those Scuttle Crab fights.
Yeah, and then another interesting thing about bot lane I just realized is that pre-6 Yesh can just completely ignore the engage from Easy Breezy's Recon, but post-6, once he has that ulti, it won't be a possibility for him.
Yeah, the Sivir definitely does really well into the Recon. I think the Alistar also does pretty well if Sivir can negate the Recon pop-up. Alistar's able to get some good punishment down onto him before he can get away. But we'll have to see how they play that.
Not to mention pre-6, when Dirk won't have the ulti to save him. If Take Kitty just goes in with Headbutt Pulverize and Yesh follows up with a auto Boomerang, that could be a lot of damage and just force him out of lane. I mean, granted, on the other side, it is a Xayah Recon lane, so if Easy Breezy is able to get one good knockup and Dirk's able to get one good root onto Yesh, that could give him a huge edge.
Definitely also interesting to me that the Echo opted in to take Barrier instead of Ignite into Orianna, who I think he does have quite a bit of early game pressure on. His ability to burst her down is pretty high, but he opted to take the Barrier instead of the kill pressure summoner spell.
Yeah, not to mention Ignite has been traditionally a pretty popular pick on Echo. Not as much recently with the nerfs to it, since it did get that extra minute to its cooldown. I'm guessing maybe Babs just wants to survive burst. Not entirely sure.
Should be dropping in the game here momentarily.
Yeah, spectator delay is done. Gotta wait for the portraits to pop up. Then we can see the keystones. God. If it loads.
Interesting to see the press the attack. I'm not sure if you're at a point where you can see the portraits
Yeah.
yet, but press the attack coming out from the sitter. Interesting pick to me. I don't see that too often. Usually see the fleet footwork.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, Sivir can proc it quickly at auto since W is a reset. It's just with 500 range, it's kind of hard to proc that in lane, and it's usually better to go fleet for the bit of sustain. I'm not sure on that one. I mean, in teamfights, it'll definitely be great, because he'll just probably be wailing away on Winteke and Ado. So, it will definitely help then.
so who do you think has the edge coming out of Champ Select and into the game? What team do you think is got the better setup here?
I don't know. I kind of like both team setups, really. Like, the only things I don't like would be the Zac pick, but that's more so because he isn't really too hot anymore, and Trundle can just stuff his engage. I think it comes down to what lanes start winning, because if you look at the lanes, most of them are pretty snowbally. Like, whoever wins that top lane will just completely trounce the other. And then bot lane I could see going either way. Not sure about mid lane though.
Yeah, I'm personally more a fan of the Mirage comp. I think that they definitely have more snowball potential. Looks like we're dropping in and immediately getting a pause here.
Yes. And the names are too big for the scoreboard, so... yeah, that's fun. Oh, and it also has them mixed up. Yeah. Well, while the pause is going on, we can move these around so people don't get confused on which team's which. God. Teams need to make smaller names. I'm just looking at the overlay and both of them are just overflowing. Like Skyward Academy especially, half of the name is off the scoreboard, and then of course it's got the 0 below.
Well, I haven't seen anything from either team regarding the pause. Looks like we have mid laner lagging on the side of I can't read the name. Chat's covered up for me.
Mirage.
But hopefully they can get those ping issues sorted out and we can get into the game here pretty quick.
Hopefully. Because the game already started late and probably best not to have any more delays. Oh, God. But yeah, it's like Spectator delay all over again. It's funny too, because like, since we're 3 minutes behind, they might have already solved this pause issue and they're playing, and just now we're messaging them, hey, what the hell's the pause about?
Well, looks like we got a ready call out from one side. Seems like the Skyward Academy had the ping issues, and they're now ready to go, waiting on a reply from Mirage.
Alrighty then. Yeah, not much else to talk about. Got a Hunter's Machete in the inventory of APT. That's pretty cool, I guess.
Alright, there we go.
See
what items come out. We got Doran's Blades coming out from both of the 80 carries instead of the standard D-Shield start that seems to be more popular these days.
I thought D-Shield was mainly against double ranged lanes.
I personally prefer D-Shield into really any lane that I don't feel like I can kill. Yeah. I will just default to the D-Shield because it keeps you a little bit healthier, gives you a little bit more wiggle room to farm safely.
We have a really large fan coming out from the side of Skyward.
They may be looking for that bot lane cheese with the Zyrakan potent level 1.
And that's true, because Winteke might just start top side. Bit more standard from the side of Mirage. Take hitting APT, staying in the same bush. Pro tip, in this situation, you should have the jungler stay mid in case he needs to switch between buffs and have the support right there. Although it won't matter too much in this situation.
See if Echo's getting up here to look for a ward, maybe. Walking up.
He has to be careful.
Looking for a deep ward. May overstep a little bit here. Gets the ward by the Raptor Brush, but getting locked up by the Alistar knockup. Flash Ignite from the Orianna. Double Ignite blown there for the first blood.
Yeah, that was just going in too deep. I would have understood if Babs was going up to where the brush that K-Kitty was in, but he was going all the way to raids. That is going to get first blood to Vice in the mid lane.
Yep, big mistake there. Big knock-up onto the Alistar. Xayah looking for some damage onto the Sivir, but not too much of a kill threat. They opted to early push the lane instead of attempting to bush cheese their opponents, so they've got a early shove going on, but that also puts the Sivir by tower, where she can safely CS now, even though she's been chunked down. The stun misses from the Camille.
Yep, Worlds Collide gonna hit that level 2 mark first. Good on Ado to dodge out of that stun. Had that hit, he would have taken a huge chunk of damage. He could have taken a huge chunk of damage. Babs is gonna be eating a lot of harass in this mid lane.
Have to see if the Orianna can push that lead a little bit further, or what turns in here. Big trade coming out from the Echo. Ends up losing in the end. May actually go down here. Nope, Ori takes an extra tower shot. As we have another trade going on here. Good dodge from the Rakan, avoiding the alley combo. But his pop-up is spell shielded by the Sivir. Gank coming in from the Zac. Lands the Q in auto. Kill goes over to Echo, but he made out of minions here. Minions finish him off. That's a 2-0 start for the Orianna.
Ultimately, it does technically benefit.
Got another fight coming in here bot lane. Sivir may be overextending. Has to heal to avoid the... Oh, still goes down to the final auto from the Xayah.
Yes got baited there after Easy Breezy took that tower shot. Oh, because I was about to say, well, assume Easy Breezy was going down there.
Definitely is starting off to be a bloody game. Both teams coming out real aggressively, but at the end of the day, Mirage going up about 400 gold between the CS and the double kill onto the Ori.
Yeah, that's a 700 gold on Vice alone. He's got a full 2 waves up on Babs. A lot of trading going on around in the top lane. Ado definitely coming out on the poor end of that. Does at least have the Doran shield to reach a bit of that.
Another good trade coming out. Got a little bit of harass down onto the Camille. Has to dodge the stun here. Flashes away from it. Maybe looking for some more aggressive trading onto the Camille. Camille flashes onto him. He gets its mount back. May turn things around on the Camille here. Absolutely.
Oh.
Lands the Q, gets the pullback to finish off the Camille. Underestimated the health regen he would get there from getting Scarl back.
Yeah, I was amazed because Ado did run into the minion wave there and eat a lot of aggro, but able to survive with the remount and then afterwards with the Triumph. Although, I think he would have survived without a Triumph because he would have just dismounted and just aggro.
I think Camille may have made a little bit of a misplay. Notice she wasn't popping her corrupting pots until about halfway through that fight when she was about half HP. Maybe if she had been regenning the whole time, might have had a better chance. But definitely well played from Ado to recognize his ability to remount and finish off the Camille.
But mid lane, the CS lead is only growing worse and worse as it goes on. Babs.
Zac coming in back mid lane, but misses the knock-up and then misses the Q as well. Combo onto the Xayah as the Rakan looks for the Sivir. Roots up the alley with the Blade Collar. Ignite goes down onto the Rakan and the Alistar as well. Alistar goes down at the same time as Rakan. Sivir's completely out of mana though. Won't really be able to follow up on this, but does have the Trundle around. Looks like Xayah might just be able to walk away from that one.
That's gonna
Or goes here, ignites the Echo. Echo may have bit off a little bit more than he could chew.
No flash up for Vice, so he's not able to finish that off. Babs is getting a little frisky. I'm not sure what he's trying to go for there.
Still a very bloody combat-heavy game. We're only 5.5, 6 minutes in here, and already had 7 deaths and Still constant fighting in each lane.
The one person who hasn't been involved in any kills yet, that was APT.
The Trundle's just been
yeah.
CSing, but really doesn't have too much of a lead. The ult comes out from the Camille. Trundle's top lane now may make you take that one back. Looking for the kill contribution onto the Kled here. Zach coming in to try to save the Kled. Flash from the Trundle, gets the Q, gets the kill. Not much that Zach can do here. Both Camille and Trundle, too much HP.
And the most important thing about that gank was that Worlds Collide and APT managed to get Ado to dismount before he could just ulti out of there, which ultimately netted them that kill.
It was a good gank opportunity, recognized the overpush Kled, took advantage of it while they could. Unfortunately, if Zach had been there a little bit earlier, maybe he would have been able to turn that around, but just a little bit too late on that counter gank.
Yep, gonna see easy breezy clear out our control ward. Easy breezy is by mid, looking to roam.
We got another all-in from the Echo, this time with the assistance of his support. Whoop. Directed camera taking us to top lane. Ultimate pulling the Echo off of him. Looking for the kill, doesn't quite get it with the passive pop. Solo kill from the Kled onto the Camille.
Everything's just happening everywhere on the map. Directed camera just can't make up its mind. Dirk has to be careful since he is solo here. Alistar isn't level 6, but with the Aftershock take it, he should be able to do well.
Big combo onto the Xayah. Doesn't R the Ali combo. Ali can't quite get the stun. Ali goes down to the turret, and the Xayah goes down to the Sivir.
So
it was a 1-for-1 there, but it looks like Xayah might miss out on a big wave because of that.
Yeah, technically it was a misplay, but since that meant Dirk was 2-0, it gave Yesh a shutdown. So ultimately it puts Mirage's bot lane ahead for that. Even though they kind of played it a little poorly in my opinion.
Definitely could have maybe been a little bit more patient, waited for the Alistar to hit 6, but at the end of the day, the Sivir up about 400 gold over the Xayah.
Yeah, and it could also be, I think Dirk might have hit 6 right as they were diving, and having the Xayah ulti was huge to stall out there.
Still a increasing gold advantage for Mirage. Up about 800 gold at this point in the game. Only major leads for Skyward at the moment are the Kled has an advantage over the Camille, and the Rakan has a slight advantage over the Alistar. But we got a gank coming in from Zach, gets the pull. Echo ults to dodge the ult and hit Ori at the same time. Huge Echo ultimate. Picks up the kill for the Zach. Looks like we might get another Kled solo kill on the Camille.
Oh, Ado gonna finish him off with a pocket pistol.
We got another fight coming out bot lane. Pop-up is blocked by the Sivir spell shield. Gets a big double Q onto 2 people. Finishes off the Xayah and the Rakan. Looks like they took a ill-advised all-in there. Can't fight without Xayah ultimate against that Alistar.
Yeah.
All-inning the Echo. Finishes him off. Not much that Zach can do here. Absolutely cannot duel that Trundle.
Yeah, keep in mind that bot laning. Easy Breezy is still not level 6. Had he had the quickness, that fight would have gone a lot differently, I would assume.
Yeah, they had 2 ultimates on the side of Mirage to no ultimates on the side of Skyward Academy. Definitely not a fight that they could afford to take.
And now we see Yesh with the Storm Razors already. Granted, that was before he got the double kill. But still, having that to just the 2 longswords plus the Berserkers.
Looking for another all-in the Sivir. She's completely oomed. The Zach walking in, finds them doing Drake, but just walked into 3 people, gets knocked down immediately. Finish off the Drake, to finish off the Zach. Ali may go down here. No, has flash to get out of the pit. RW from Rakan, 2-man knockup as Echo comes in. Big stun looking for it. Got it. Ooh. Kill for the Echo onto the Trundle and kill for the Kled. Good TP flank from the Kled.
Yep, Ado's really showing up this game on the Kled. As we mentioned in Champ Select, that whoever starts snowballing in top lane will start just walking all over the other person, and it does seem to be coming true right now.
Yep, absolutely. And with Sniver being forced to back, she doesn't have the opportunity to finish off that bot tower. It looks like Skyward Academy pick up the first turret of the game mid after the off the back of that dragon take. Funny that Mirage managed to pick up the Earth Dragon, but lose the first tower.
Well, it looks like Rift Herald is the call. We have 5 members from Skyward right here. Too hard to get.
Stun from the Echo. Maybe going a little bit too deep here. Has to ult back out. Can they finish this Herald before the Mirage team gets on top of them?
I don't think so.
Shockwave comes out, misses. Looks like, not sure who finished off the Rift Herald. Don't get a notification for
got
that.
It.
Looks like they did manage to secure the Rift Herald, but at the cost of both the Echo and the Zac. They may lose first tower, or not first tower, first mid tower for that.
Second, yeah. I thought you meant first mid tower, like the very first mid tower. I was like, what?
No, their outer mid tower is going down at the cost of that Herald call. Might have been a little bit of an ambitious call to do that right off the back of taking another tower after a fight.
Because there was some decent amounts of gold sitting in the pockets of the members of Skyward. You can see, well, both Ado and Dirk had over 1.5k, and I wouldn't have been surprised if Babs and Winteke also had a decent chunk of change.
Definitely ended up being a little bit more than they could handle, but throughout that they did manage to close that gold gap a little bit. Only about a 500 or 600 gold lead now for Mirage, lessened from about 900 before the dragon fight.
And I think a decent amount. Oh wait, yeah, a decent amount of that gold lead is just from the CS leads across the board for Mirage. Bot lane we got about 30 CS lead, mid lane it's about 15, top lane is about 14, and just having that small amounts of extra gold on everyone is helping bump up the total.
Do want to point out that the Kled did have a CS lead until he teleported. He sacrificed his own CS lead over the Camille that he had been bullying to get that teleport bot lane and try to get some of his team back in the game. Looks like they may be looking to dive the Trundle here. Gets pulled in by Zac, immediately knocked up, but pulled out by the Zac ultimate, flashes over the wall.
Oh,
May just walk away here.
Yeah, poor communication there from Winteke and Easy Breezy. Winteke, Zac ulting APT out of the quickness, which is pretty huge there, and ultimately leads to him getting out.
Yeah, definitely a poor CC chain. Could have been done better. Weren't quite on the same page there.
Kled ulti mid.
Kled ult onto the Orianna. Big two-man shockwave, doesn't matter. Flash Q from the Zac. Echo's still going after. Gets the pop with the passive. Kill going over to Echo.
Oof, yeah, and that's one of their members with the most amount of kills.
Ooh, big stun. Knocked up. Sivir may be going down here. Flash heals out. Stays alive. Echo forced to R. Maybe a little bit of an overambitious turret dive here. Zac just walking away. Camille not quite having enough damage.
Yeah, barely missing out on killing Yesh there. Babs kind of overestimating what his Echo can do with just a... what was that? Forbidden Chapter? Forbidden Chapter and Sword Shoes.
Definitely, almost an overdive. Managed to get out with the Sivir sums.
Yeah, but it's still...
I think at the end of the day, they do come out ahead on Summoner spells burned. And miraculously, in that bloody little fight there, nobody actually died. Only the Orianna went down before the fight. Did the Rakan go down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, if you ever doubt it, you can probably assume Rakan dies, since he doesn't really have a lot of tankiness, and if he goes in and gets CC'd by someone, he just insta-dies. Things are gonna calm down a little. Everyone on the side of Skyward clearing out wards for the up-and-coming dragon.
Summoning the Rift Herald bot lane.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that was timing out, or if they're looking for that Kled to push it in. They don't have a tier 1 tower to take, so they're gonna have to walk that Rift Herald all the way to tier 2.
I want to say it was because it was gonna time out, but as you said, I'm not sure. Bab's gonna be walking into
Echo
APT here.
Face check the Trundle, pops the passive, manages to get away, loses about half his HP for the face check, but definitely could have been worse.
Keep in mind, Dirk is just left top lane in his walking down, so there's only 4 members here for the side of Skyward.
Definitely an ill-advised Herald summon. Looks like it's just going to end up going down for free here to Mirage. They have their whole team here to answer while the Xayah just pushes mid. Dragon coming up in 2 seconds, and
Easy gonna get caught out.
Easy getting caught. Flashes over the wall.
That is another mountain dragon, so we're gonna want to watch that. Because if Mirage gets that and hits that 2 mountain zone, that's really huge for them.
Camille going in with the E, doesn't quite manage to get some quickness and the knockup from Rakan. Zach going in. Big 3-man shockwave coming out from the Orianna. Bit of a chaotic team fight going here. Xayah gets a big blade collar. Echo goes down, or Echo takes out the Camille. Looks like Skyward Academy going to end up taking this fight here as the Xayah's allowed to free hit. Maybe not. Zac in passive. Big crit coming out from the Sivir. Going to finish off the Zac here. Skyward Academy coming out behind on that team fight.
Yeah, Yasha's coming up huge with all those crits, and we did see the big Orianna coming out of ice there.
Not really sure, but they just didn't have too much coordination. The Rakan RW's the Camille, and they just didn't immediately kill her. They got her first, but it took a little bit longer than it should have. Not really sure that they can blow both the Zac knockup and the Rakan RW combo on just a single person. Kled coming in with the TP flank here. Grabs immediately, kills the Sivir, looking for the Ori as well. Picks up the double kill for free.
That was a 500 gold shutdown on Yashish, by the way, so that's another 800 in Ado's pocket.
Another huge amount of gold going to him. 3,000 gold advantage for the Kled over the Camille.
Yeah, he is definitely the anchor for this team right now on the side of Skyward. Whereas,
definitely concerned for the Camille in regards to that split push that may eventually end up happening. They're not really sure that the Camille will ever be able to answer that Kled even under tower.
Yeah, like, by the time he's able to answer him, we're talking like probably really late game where everyone already has 5 or 6 items. Because by then the gold won't matter. But with how games have just been going for the past few months in League, you don't really see 6-item games anymore. So it's very doubtful we're gonna hit that point.
Yeah, unfortunately, I just don't think the Camille will ever really be able to put herself back into this game unless she manages to pick up quite a few. Big combo, Sivir ultimate and Ali combo coming out on the Echo. RW hitting the Trundle and knocking him up. Small shockwave, doesn't really hit too many members. Big blade collar coming in from the Xayah, ripping through Mirage. Ali gonna go down here. Sivir walking up front, lands a big combo onto the Xayah, gets her pretty low. Echo onto the Xayah, or onto the Sivir, I'm sorry. Looks like Kled's gonna be taking out the Trundle as well. Ori having to run away from 4 members, but the Kled ultimate absolutely going to catch her. She will be going down here. No way out on this one. Tries to take the Zac down with her. Ignite won't quite be enough to take him out. Big fight win for Skyward Academy.
Yeah, 5 for 1 there. It initially looked pretty even, but then Dirk and Babs were just able to take out Yesh, which was huge. Because when I saw Babs ult back in and Dirk just walk up with 200 out to both their damage dealers, I was kind of a little scared.
I think the Sivir may have greeted a little bit for some of that follow-up damage on the Xayah. Walked past the walkway into the jungle to get that auto and Q onto the Xayah. Got her real low, but opened herself up to the retaliation from the Echo and the Zac at the same time, and just can't do that when you're the primary carry.
And now we have almost a 4,000 gold lead on Ado. If you look at the inventories of both top laners, it's nearly an item and a half that separates the two, which is absolutely huge.
Yeah, definitely still concerned for the state of that Camille. When somebody's got to answer that Kled's push as he pushes down bot lane here. He doesn't have the teleport or the ultimate, and even though Baron's up, I don't think it matters. He will push down that turret and enter their base if they don't send somebody to answer him. But we got a Bush stat coming out from Mirage here, maybe looking for that little bit of a Fnatic strat.
Yep. anyone they catch will automatically die, because no one on the side of Skyward really has enough tankiness yet.
Oh, Ali screws up the combo, doesn't get the knockup onto the Rakan, just knocks him away. The Echo looking for a little bit of a trade, flashes the Shockwave. A little bit of a ambitious look for some damage onto them, ends up losing this flash for it.
Babs has been playing really aggressive this game on Echo, even when he was behind in lane.
Will he get the ultimate off here? Getting pretty low. Ult lands a 2-man ultimate. Big ultimate. Double kill for the Echo. Trundle goes down to the Zac on the follow-up. Kled ulting in. Staying on top of the carries. Or he might go down here to the Kled damage. Absolutely goes down to the back half of Kled Q. Big knock-up onto the Sivir from the Zac. That's a clean ace coming out of Skyward Academy. Only losing the Rakan.
Yep, back-to-back one team fights by huge margins for the side of Skyward, and now they got the Baron Knight up. And since it is after 20 minutes and they are a team composition, they should be able to take this.
I absolutely will be taking down the Baron here. Everybody's healthy enough. That Kled turning out to be quite the nightmare for Mirage to deal with. Too tanky for them to get through and just runs over the backline.
Yeah, and if Ado ever gets a Guardian Angel, that's just going to make it 10 times more of a pain to deal with them. Because not only do you have to dismount him, but then you send him into GA, and then by the time he pops out of GA, he might be just shy of remounting. It's going to be such a pain.
Well, we see the completed Zeeks on Trundle as a rush item after the Cinder Hulk. Not really sure that Zeeks is what he needs to be finding. He needs to be getting that Knight's Vow. The Sivir does quite a bit of damage already, but she just can't stay alive to dish out that damage with Kled just running her over.
Yeah. Yeah, Knight's Vow would help tremendously here, because Yesh is the anchor of the Mirage team comp right now. I mean, granted, Vice also has a lot of damage. He's just not massively fed, and all of his damage will be front-loaded into that one wombo combo with the Shockwave.
I don't think that Mirage will be able to pull out a team fight now unless the Orianna lands a massive Shockwave, or they can manage to catch someone out. But with Alistar knocking their potential victim to safety, I'm not really sure that they have a chance at pulling that off.
Yeah, the main way I see them winning a team fight is they get the jump on Skyward while it's still a 5v4, especially if Ado's out. Or Take Kitty just somehow getting a 5-man knockup or like 4-man knockup on the side of Skyward, and then you just see like come out.
Well, that's the next dragon going over to Skyward Academy, their first Drake, also the third Earth Drake this game.
Yeah.
The Earth Drakes are really going to accelerate the pace of the game here, making objectives just paper thin compared to these comps.
Yeah.
We not really what the Camille needs to hear.
Yeah, the RNG gods at Riot just not really liking Taros today, I guess.
We've got the Kled pushing down mid lane, answered only by the Camille at the moment. Not really sure that's a wise decision. Echo and Zac jumping onto the Trundle, forced a flash back into his own base. Kled taking some tower damage there on an attempt to maybe get some tower damage down. Knock up onto the Camille, RW from the Rakan. Shockwave knocks up both the Zac and the Kled. Kled dismounted, possibly looking for the remount off of the victims of Zac pull. Trundle knocked up again, not quite enough damage for... Oh, Echo, big burst damage, takes down the Trundle.
Yeah, that's a Lich Bane plus Luna's proc there, coming out from Bad's really popping.
Not sure if they're able to dive this. Definitely looks like they're going for the turret though. Zac coming in with the E, gets the knockup onto the Alistar, not sure he has ultimate, gets pulled back onto the inhib, popped immediately by the Echo. This should just be a free inhib going down the Skyward Academy.
Yeah, and now that we see a 10,000 gold lead for Skyward after all those one fights in the Baron and just all the towers.
Echo going in on the Orianna. Stunned by the Camille, but able to just walk away. Ori forced the flash. Kled runs the Sivir over. Absolutely no resistance to that Kled damage.
Yeah, as Sivir, there's basically literally nothing you can do against Kled.
As the fight continues to devolve, it looks like the Mirage team is just going to be pushed into their own fountain, and this may be the end of the game here.
looks like the members of Skyward are gonna back off, just respecting.
Trundle separates the Zaya from her team, flashes away, manages to pop the Camille. Camille just doesn't have any HP to her name. Trundle goes down here as well, just too much of an ambitious chase.
Yeah, engaging with their most fed member, and then also Vice did a sombrero, completely flubbing the shockwave.
Just can't make these type of crucial mechanical errors at this point in the game when you're this far behind. RW double knockup, doesn't matter, Nexus goes down.
Alright, another game one going to Skyward Academy. After a bit of a rough start.
Definitely a rough start for the bot half of the map for Skyward Academy. But seemed like Ado managed to stay ahead on that Kled and just be that anchor that his team needed to get past the initial hiccup in the early game.
Yeah, we are gonna take a quick break while we wait on the next lobby, so us on the caster desk can get like hydrated and probably like coach. So yeah, we'll see you guys in a Alright, welcome back, boys and girls. We're into game number 2. For those who missed game 1, Skyward Academy did take a win. Definite MVP was Ado. Pretty bloody game.
Extremely bloody game. Right off the bat, we had first blood before minion spawn, and then had probably about 5 deaths total before the 4 or 5 minute mark.
Yeah, people trying to speedrun League, it would seem. Gonna see similar bans coming out this time, though, from both sides, and nothing changing up. It would be interesting to see if Mirage does want to ban the Kled, since Ada did, of course, have that pretty good performance on it. But it might
there it is. Yeah. Got similar bans coming out from Skyward Academy as last game, but same thing coming from Mirage. Top targeted bans, but they opted for the Kled second this time instead of the Darius.
Also, so in the overlay, Morgana, it's not perfectly lined up with the bans, so half of Morgana's face is cut off. Gonna see the Recon first pick for the side of Skyward. Easy Breezy did have some good engages on that, but he also kind of died a lot. So we'll see if he can make that work this game.
Yep, will be interesting to see if Mirage opts to take the Xayah away to deny the combo, or if they leave it up and are content with playing against the same bot lane again.
They could. The thing is, Xayah on her own now isn't the best. She's not terrible, but I think she's like, maybe like B- tier? Like, if it was richness, she'd be lower middle class.
Might have lost her there.
Oh, yeah. Basically, Xayah's on the lower end of okay, is what I was saying.
Yeah, but definitely with the Recon and her ability to enable the Recon, she has quite the strong both early and late game. Interesting to me that they opted to first pick Ryze, even after getting camped by the Zac last game. Mid, they opt for an even less safe mid laner, completely immobile.
Yeah, and we do also see the Nami pick. She has risen up a bit in priority. She's not, I don't think she's S tier, but basically with all the changes to the shield supports and now with the support sustain and lower base, ADCs having lower base sustain, it has risen her up in priorities. Since she does fill that sustain and has some okay poke. Skyward gonna reply with the Sejuani and Xayah, wanting to keep that Xayah Recon bot lane and the tank jungler.
We have a Nivea lock-in on the side of Mirage that tells me that that's either a Ryze bot lane with the Nami or a Ryze top lane.
Huh. Yeah. I'm not sure. I would guess Ryze top, because I don't feel like Ryze bot is the best. Granted, the only time I've seen a Ryze bot was like once, and I was playing Severs, so I didn't. And I'm pretty sure that'd be a good matchup for Sever. But I digress. This is a Zac ban. Kind of interesting since when Teke already picked the jungler, unless they think that's a top lane / mid lane Sejuani.
Yeah, not really sure where the Zac ban's coming from. Maybe just not paying attention in Champion Select. Always that possibility.
Yeah,
but curious to see what they're going to opt for as jungle top, considering, or jungle AD carry, considering they have a 3 champion magic comp at the moment. No real physical damage on the side of Mirage.
Mm-hmm. And Skyward is staying pretty steadfast to the bans. That Lucian ban might technically be wasted if that is planned to be a Ryze bot lane. There's the Sivir ban, not wanting that to come up again.
Definitely was problematic for them.
Yeah, yes performed pretty well on that, and just having the spell shield to really deny the Recon engage in lane was pretty handy. See what Mirage decides to pick up here. Time's ticking down, got about 3 seconds, I would say.
Opting for a Jhin, so that is a Ryze top lane.
Alright. So Jhin is actually like top tier now. Because basically, now that Storm Razor is that much cheaper, and that the Zeal items are 100 gold cheaper, just means he comes online faster.
Also, the Halo Blade's interaction with his passive is quite potent.
Yeah.
Makes him very, very good at bullying in lane.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely worry for their bot lane. The Xayah Rakan is real potent all in, and both Jhin and Nami struggle in dealing with all in lanes.
Yeah, Yeshish and Taekiri are going to have to position very carefully. Because they can win the poke and the short trades just due to how Jhin and Nami work. So if they can somehow keep it to just that, they'll do fine. LeBlanc
got the Lee Sin lock in for Mirage side jungle.
Mm-hmm. He did get buffed this patch. Or, for the most part, it's a buff. There's like certain extreme cases where it's not a buff.
Definitely better at killing squishier targets. Not quite as good as killing hyper tanks. I'm concerned for how Mirage is going to get through that Mundo Sejuani. Mundo and Sejuani are both very thick targets. Specifically, the Mundo is highly resistant to magic damage with his natural stacking MR and his insanely high amount of regen. Yeah. And Mirage opted into the Jhin, which is not a tank killing AD carry. They have no form of tank shred on their team whatsoever.
Yeah, and keep in mind, since Ado is going to be laning against, well, let me rephrase that. Since Worlds Collide rises, they want to itemize into mana first, so we're probably going to see a tier and a Roa first, and that is going to delay any Morellos if he wants that. So that's an even longer period where Ado doesn't really have to worry about the Grievous Wounds top lane. Especially since he's gotten a Rush Spirit Visage. Like, I imagine once he gets Spectre's Cowl, this lane is gonna be 100 times easier for him.
Definitely a big point of concern, considering that the Mundo will really be able to rush his two more or less favorite items. He's going to be able to build the Spirit Visage first, which just synergizes so well with his natural regen and his ultimate. And then on top of that, he's able to build the Adaptive Helm to reduce both Ryze and Anivia have the repeat taking damage from Anivia ult and the Ryze EQ spam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just definitely from champ select alone, I feel like Skyward did walk out with the better comp here. Just picking double magic without a consistent ADC damage can be kind of poor. Not to mention Mirage. Their team comp is really flimsy since APT is going to want to itemize some AD on that Lee Sin. It's not going to be like Sejuani or Mundo where you're just itemizing full tank and just never die.
Yeah, definitely really dangerous, especially considering how much long range damage and how much frontline with the Syndra really being able to just tear through any single member if she gets even the slightest edge. And then the Mundo does a lot of damage, man. His AD steroid buffing him up quite a bit, and he'll just be able to walk right through the enemy team.
Mm-hmm. If there were like a few advantages I had to give to the start of Mirage, I'd definitely say sieging is good for them just due to their insane wave clear and having 4 ranged champions. Not to mention, I would say their pick potential is better just because they have Jhin, and there's of course Vice with the Anivia wall, the Lee Sin kick, and the Ryze root. So that is 2 avenues they can try and leverage a lead with and potentially win this game.
Just definitely putting a lot on the line there, putting a lot of faith in that top lane Ryze, considering that this is all or nothing for the Mirage team, and they seem to be opting for very off the wall, non-standard comp.
Mm-hmm. Oh god, got about 10 seconds till we hit the loading screen. So yeah. We'll see how it pans out. Granted, if Mirage, they just jump to some massive insurmountable early lead, they can of course win it. But you can also say that about basically any comp.
Definitely very concerned for the mid game. If especially if that Mundo, if Ado manages to perform even half as well as he did last game, and he gets any type of early lead going into this, I just don't think they'll ever be able to kill him. I think he'll walk out of the game with no more deaths than he had in laning phase, and we'll just walk all over that team. Especially the Jhin really won't be able to hurt him. We'll probably just get run down repeatedly.
Yeah. Granted, early game Mundo is still pretty vulnerable, and with just how strong Lee Sin is early game and how easy it is for Ryze to set up ganks with that rune present, we could potentially see a camp top lane to just keep Ado down. Because if APT just camps top and buries Ado, gets Worlds Collide ahead, that will definitely help a lot.
I'm also concerned for the amount of early pressure that Skyward Academy has, considering the you can see that the Xayah, even though they have the same bot lane as last game, Xayah opted for the fleet footwork this game as opposed to the lethal tempo from last game, trying to sustain her way through that poke lane.
Yeah. Also with the Doran shield too, just really wanted to get through that. Let's see what they got in chat for us. Good luck, have fun. We derped in champs select really hard, lol.
Which side is that coming from?
That's coming from Mirage.
Okay.
So they do. It looks like they kind of recognize that they don't have an optimal team comp.
Yeah, Ado saying that he likes their comp, and I imagine he does. I imagine that comp is just gonna. By the way, the champion select, or not champion select.
Did I not?
Load screen overlay is still up.
Yeah, I wish there wasn't a loading screen overlay. It would make things a lot easier.
We've got a D shield start coming from the Xayah this time, as opposed to the D blade from last time. Looking to just, like I said, with the fleet footwork, just survive the lane. Be curious to see how well they do. If they can get out of laning phase and stay relatively even, then they'll have a really good shot at running over the Jhin Nami.
I'm also curious about mid lane because Syndra did get a huge early game off this patch. Level 1 her Q dealing.
Oh, looking for the early cheese. Knock up onto the Jhin. Some free damage coming down onto the Jhin Nami, but Lee Sin looking to walk in.
No.
Nope. Q does manage to bounce to the Xayah, looking for a little bit of a evens things out HP wise.
And top lane Ado actually went for the Comet to supplement poke, since against this Ryze it's not likely he's gonna be getting too many just of the Undying Rocks.
Rakan going for the W, misses, taking some damage here, goes pretty low. May look for the flash fourth shot from the Jhin.
Yeah, easy breezy just not waiting for level 2 there. And of course, because if he were a level 2 and had the E to just dash out, he'd be fine there, but going in and missing that.
Oh, big bubble. Xayah gets locked up, ignited. Double knockup from the Rakan, bails out the Xayah, Ignite going down, not quite taking her out, but once again, Xayah has no heal now. The Jhin could quite possibly just look for a flash fourth shot to finish her off.
Gotta see some
Poke coming down onto the Anivia from the Syndra.
Yeah, and without that heal, Dirk has to be careful. Gonna have to slowly sustain his way back up with that double shield and the clean footwork.
Taking those fourth shot trades will definitely end up in the negative for Xayah here. That fourth shot, with her being that low, is just never really going to be out tradable for her.
Yeah, and Dirk is probably going to miss a lot of CS right now under his tower, since he will be constantly zoned out.
Yeah, down about 10 CS at 3.5 minutes. Rough early start. Going in on the Nami, we've got the Sejuani here. The Xayah just drops the Jhin burst, disrespected. Ignite onto the Jhin, not really sure that the Sejuani will have the damage here. Jhin has no sums, Nami lands the bubble, going for the fourth shot. Looks like he may take out, not quite taking out to the red buff. Nami may go down here to the E-pop, got a trade. Rakan picking up the kill onto the Nami in exchange for the flash root from the Rise. Doesn't quite get it. Rakan gets his W off and walks away.
The gank just turned out to be disastrous, going 2 for 1 and giving up the first blood to Yesh. Yesh's Jhin is going to make this lane even more of a nightmare.
Real rough start for the Skyward bot lane. Only redeeming factor there is that the Rise burned both teleport and flash and got nothing from it. Given a big advantage there, a free pushed wave and a lot of denied CS to Addo there in the top lane. Up about 15 CS now. Good dodge from Babs on the stun coming out of Vice.
Look at the inventories now for the ADCs. Dirk wasn't even able to buy, or didn't even buy potions. Whereas Yeshia's coming back to lane with double longsword and the dagger. He's gonna make his trades even better.
Real unfortunate how far behind this Xayah Rakan is. Then probably not going to be able to do anything for the rest of the laning phase. Probably just going to be zoned out. Going to have to take that CS deficit that's coming for him.
Yeah, and I'd have to say, like, basically, ultimately, the reason why they're in this position is that Easy Breezy, he never engages, but then he just missed his combo. And with that, that gave the Yesh and take it, he just go in. Well, poke them out.
Gets the knock up there, but they come out behind on the trade just simply because they're so far behind in items. Even though it mechanically was played well by Easy, you just can't look for those trades when you're that far behind.
Yeah,
he's trading into a lane where he's down 2 long swords and a dagger against already early game advantageous bot lane.
Yeah,
still looking for those trades.
And Yesh does also have the refillable pot, just to give him even more sustain alongside me.
Can't look for these trades. Gonna go. Xayah drops to the 4th shot. Walks up on the Jhin despite the disadvantage. Just can't take these trades, but continuing to anyway. The Anivia getting stunned up by Syndra and forced to flash. Lands the stun on the Syndra, not really sure. The egg gets popped once again by Syndra. Got TP coming in from the Mundo, looking for both the Syndra and the Anivia and the Lee Sin. Nami walks in from bot lane. Looks like Ada's just gonna have to walk out here, flashes away to avoid the Nami bubble. Lee Sin lands the Q and takes it. Huge Syndra ult onto the Nami, pops her immediately, and Ada walks away with not very much HP.
Yeah, the ultimate just saving him by the skin of his teeth. Already with the 2 null magic mantles, wanting to be a superhero. That was reducing a good amount of damage there from Vice. We're both gonna be handed over to Vice, as expected. Yep. Anivia kinda needs it.
Yeah, Anivia definitely needing the early blues. Lee going really low here, may end up, his W coming up and saving him just barely from getting a little bit of an execute going on.
And then, back in the ball lane, Dirk still doesn't have any potions. He's sitting on 1.2k right now. I'm assuming he's just desperately trying to get that BF money, but I feel like having at least a refillable and double longsword here would be much more advantageous, just so you have that extra bit of power and sustain.
Well, Mirage definitely pulling out to a pretty strong early lead, about 1,000 gold up, but Syndra getting an early kill on the Nami and Addo starting with a little bit of a CS lead, has about 300 gold ahead on the Rise. Not real good news for the Rise, who, like you said, has to build a lot of early mana. Can't build damage to get through that MR.
And of course, World's Flight also took a teleport, just, to help match the global pressure of Ado, who would of course take teleport. That also means he doesn't have a combat summoner like Ignite or Ghost to really help him with Ado. Specifically,
Bot tower getting pretty low here. Good knockup from the Rakan to try to push them off of that tower damage. Syndra going for an all-in here. Lands another Q in the ultimate. Last ball taking down the Anivia. Good play. Solo kill from the Syndra.
That's pretty good. You got both your well, mid lane is winning to the side of Skyward, and top lane, while it's technically even, this lane is even and these windows
Oh, Mundo popping R, trying to walk away from this. Good kick from the Lee into the wall. May take down the Mundo here. Looks like he'll take the Lee Sin with him. No, Triumph comes in and saves the Lee Sin from the tower shot. Bit of a stretch on the R, doesn't quite hit either bot laner.
Oh yeah, that was just out of the range. I think it was about 50 to 150 units off. If I had a wing up.
I don't agree with the decision making from the Sejuani here though. Looking for plays on the bot lane. I understand that she's probably trying to keep her bot lane in the game, but that lane is already behind, and you really need to be looking at your mid and top as your win conditions.
Yeah.
Oh, RW from the Rakan gets a big 2-man knockup, immediately popping the Nami. Rakan walks away.
11.
That was a good read there from the Rakan. Despite being down all lane, makes a smart choice and finds the 2-man knockup, immediately killing that Nami before they can look to get any more poke down on them, force them out of the lane.
Yeah.
Cancels the Rakan with a W.
Just the insane amount of damage that they can pump out. Since Derek did kind of suffer all the way to the BF sword, he did of course have a bunch of damage there. Not to mention, as you said, the double knockup in the recombo with Xayah just wailing on you while he's taking probably kill any squishy.
The Rise trying to trade on the Mundo here, but really just not doing too much. Barely gets about 20% of his HP, and Mundo will just regen that up rather quickly. His passive gonna kick in.
Worlds Collide, like, the amount of effort he's having to expend just to get these trades onto Ado is not really worth what he's getting.
Lee looking for the Syndra here. Good stun. Follows the Q. Flash from the Syndra. Flash barrier. Looks for the R. Immediately blows up the Lee Sin. Rakan might find himself in a bit of a sticky situation. Has the flash to avoid the bubble.
That was actually huge there, because if they had killed Babs there, that would have been a shutdown money, and then they had 3 members around that mid lane, so that would have been good pressure on that mid tower, but Easy Breezy just in the right place at the right time, and able to help out his mid laner, and Babs able to survive because of all the shields and flash.
Yeah, well played reading that he can just annihilate that Lee Sin. He's only got the call fields, has no HP, very squishy. Just obliterated by that Syndra combo, and Syndra manages to walk away ahead at the end of the day.
And this 3-0 Syndra can basically blow up anyone on the side of Mirage, since, as mentioned in Champs, like, not too much tankiness on their side, especially right now. If a Syndra stun lands on anyone while Babs has ulti up, I assume there's a good chance it is.
Yeah, there's seeing the Mundo starting to slowly get shipped out. It surprisingly looks like he's opting to rush the Adaptive Helm over the Spirit Visage that we thought he would be going for.
Adaptive Helm will definitely be good against Crisis. I'm not sure what other sources would really affect it. If Worlds Collide is able to fire out spells that the Adaptive Helm does protect against it, I guess that works.
It definitely will reduce the Anivia ultimate and the Rise E and Q.
Oh, okay.
Also will help some against the Nami E on hit, assuming that the autos are thrown fast enough. Nami looking for the ult here. They're all hitting the bot lane. Sejuani here lands the ult onto the Nami, gonna get exploded immediately by the Xayah and Syndra damage. Lee Sin and Nami going down immediately. Syndra still has ultimate, may look for the explosion. Jan going down as well. Got a Rise ulting into this fight, but got Mundo TPing in behind. Looking for the Xayah kill. Xayah flashes away. Looks like the Rise is just going to end up going down. We got 2 massively tanky frontliners able to just tank this tower up, and Xayah's going to pick up the last hit on that. Rise does manage to take down the Sejuani though.
Well, yeah, just huge turn of events. They're going in favor of Skyward, and turns out Ado's not building Adaptive Helm as just from Merc Treads, as we can see by the Kindle jump. Vice gonna get this mid lane tower.
Yep, gonna trade towers 1 for 1, but huge loss there for Mirage, losing 4 members bot lane and a lot of that gold going over the Syndra. Xayah also picking up a lot of gold there and putting herself back in the game.
The one silver lining of that was that Vice did get Power Chirp, which is one of the most important towers in the game since it doesn't up. So the tower trade was fine. Well, yeah.
Yeah, not sure that the Anivia could have done much anyway. Definitely made the right choice to stay mid lane and end up trading that turret.
Yeah. Got a bit of a pause. Turns out mid laner for Skyward is lagging again. Hopefully that can get resolved.
Yeah, hopefully it won't take quite as long as last time, and we can jump right back into it.
Yeah.
Got a bit of a turn here. Initially was down about 1,000 gold, but Skyward pulling out to about a 1,500 gold lead at this point in the game. Interestingly enough, I noticed that the Xayah, despite being down almost 2,000 gold early game and still being at a CS deficit, is only down about 250 now.
Just from all those team fights we've seen now, Dirk has those 2 kills and the 3 assists. Not to mention he was around for that first tower dropping, so that was just more gold in his pocket, and that's really helping him bring him back.
I'm really looking forward to this mid game once the Mundo gets some items under his belt and can just get his level 2 ultimate and run at the enemy team. Probably be good for a couple laughs when we see that Mundo just walking through everything, not really caring what they throw at him.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting because he's already pretty close to the Spear Visage, and once he gets that, that's already huge. But just going on from there, it only ever gets worse.
Yeah, absolutely. He only needs about 140 gold to finish that Spirit Visage. So I imagine he'll finish doing what he's doing, maybe clear mid-wave if it pushes out, and head back and grab that Spirit Visage.
And there's also no magic pen yet on the side of Mirage. Granted, it's kind of early, but Worlds Collide itemizing the Ionians just for the extra CDR, but not having that extra 18 magic pen could be decently big, at least in this early-ish to mid-game zone. But not having that penetration to go through the Mundo, who's going to be itemizing heavily into MR, not to mention Winteke, is going to bite him in the butt.
It looks like we've got a lane swap coming out. Mundo heading bot lane to push that out, and we've got the Xayah Rakan going top lane. Not sure they'll be able to take this tower out from under the Ryze. Ryze definitely will hurt that Xayah if he can get on top of her.
Yeah.
Maybe looking for the Herald here in the near future.
To build that, the combo Mirage has a lot of damage, and if they ever get onto the backline of Skyward, they will of course instantly blow them up. The only saving grace is that Dirk does have the ultimate to get him out. But the problem is, even if they blow them up, they still don't have the damage to go through. Well, they still probably won't have the damage to go through Teke.
Got another pause.
Okay.
Looks like more lag issues coming out of the Skyward mid laner. Maybe a little bit of a longer pause here, as they said they're gonna have to restart his router, restart his internet.
Yeah, also looks like he has to get tissues. Guess he has a bit of a runny nose. Also like how when you pause, you just hear the same sound effects over and over.
I love the sounds of Anivia Ultimate. Get to sit here and listen to those raging winds for the next 4 or 5 minutes.
Yes, I like the default stock sound for AC Cold Winter Winds playing over and over.
And still better than that one time I got stuck in a 15-minute pause playing Pulsefire Caitlyn with my headshot readied up, and I got to sit there and listen to the buzzing sound that her gun makes on loop.
Yeah. Well, there's the DC. Does support the whole restarting router theory put forward by our beautiful theorists on the side of Skyward. Oh wait, you know what's an even better sound effect? Kog'Maw passive. Like imagine pausing and just hearing that over and over and over and over.
Does that loop? I'm not sure if that would loop or not.
Should loop.
Unfortunately, most games where where you have pausing enabled, you can't really pause in combat. So
Yeah. Yeah, typically you don't stop in the middle of a team fight and type /pause. Unless you have, like, some macro. But, do you remember that one sound bug where, like, ability sounds would repeat over and over, like Corky Gatling Gun?
oh, the Corky Gatling Gun classic. That was the notorious one. There were a couple others.
Corky Gatling Gun was one of the more manageable ones. Kogma Passive, though, was the most obnoxious of them all. Because he just walks in and you hear him dying over and over.
The bug would also happen for there were a couple other champions that I'm trying to think of. I had one a second ago and I lost it.
It has to be persistent effects.
Oh, Rise Passive Shield.
Oh god.
And back in the day when Archangels would bug whenever you used it, and you wouldn't have the shield on your HP bar, but you would have the little globe around you. The animation would play constantly.
Oh god, I think Zanya's was also bugged. And that sound thing. So you just hear ding when they come on screen. It's like they're trying to flex on you with Zanya's.
Good old spaghetti code. Never letting us down.
Hell yeah. Still got hella spaghetti code. Like how last patch it just randomly broke the auto organizer, so now you have to go in and reorganize all the portraits on your side like some sort of mongoloid. That feels bad. Oh. So yeah, we still paused.
Hopefully we'll be finishing things here quickly.
Yeah, I'm sure our viewers might be getting a little tired of the Anivia sound effects. Oh god. So how's your day been going? So we got
it's been interesting, been tired, working a lot, so I'm pretty sore.
Hell yeah.
Playing that good old flex queue.
Ah yes, flex. Like the only time I play flex nowadays is when the boys need a sub on Skyward. Yeah. Viewers, if you guys have any questions you want to ask, feel free to shoot, because if you guys couldn't tell, we're kind of running out of things to talk about here. So yeah, shoot.
Do you think there's any way back into this game from Mirage? I know that Skyward doesn't have too big of an advantage, but I think with the way the comps are set up, it's going to be really, really hard on the Mirage comp to get back into this.
Get a bunch of picks on their carries and snowball ahead with a gold lead. Then somehow pick up a Baron and then use your potent sieging power while somehow also hoping the team with the Sejuani and Rakan doesn't engage on you. It's a bit of a stretch, but it's possible.
I'd love to see the Lee Sin look for a big kick and try to knock the Mundo through several members of the Skyward team.
Yeah, or just if he's able to kick Mundo over a wall, since Mundo has no way to get over walls, then you just have a 5v4 and you don't have to worry about that big Mundo.
Oh, there's a good one. Tacos or burritos? I think they're mostly the same thing. Burritos are just a little larger. Unless you're considering hard shell tacos, in which case I clearly think the advantage goes to soft shell.
I kind of like burritos more since you're able to put more in them. Plus they're more flexible. Tacos, like, especially the hard shell ones, you can't put a lot in them. Then you take a bite out of it and the entire shell just blows up and it's like, oh.
On to the next one. Waffles or pancakes? I like waffles.
Definitely waffles. Basically, the texture of it really lets you get the stuff into it. I personally prefer powdered sugar in my waffles.
I definitely like the crunch. I don't like soft pancakes. I like
Yeah.
the crunch from the waffles.
I
They're
guess I
crispy.
might be a little biased against pancakes because like those are the ones that like restaurants and like buffets always have, and they'll just make them super cheaply. So you just have like really thin, flimsy, soggy pancakes coming out, and they just have some bargain no name Aunt Jemima knockoff brand syrup to put on them. Whereas waffles, people are a little more finesse with them at restaurants, you know.
And you can get those nice, like, fancy, thick waffles. The real high quality ones. Oh, looks like we're getting right back into it, actually.
Alright, pie or cake? Definitely cake. Never been a big fan of pie.
I'm a pie person myself. Not a big sweets fan. I like fruit a lot, so
Yeah.
pie for me.
Yes, sweets, they definitely fall off as you grow in age. Like, when you're young, you're just such an addict of sugar. So I remember there's, like, one study scientists did on the amount of sugar intake children can take. And, like, you could keep on adding sugar into their drink. Okay.
Ooh, risky blast plant there from the Cinder getting away right in front of that Lee Sin.
Ah, 4 members wailing away on the Skyward, though.
Definitely gonna fall. Looks for the stun, lands the stun on the Rise, goes for the combo, Rise explodes. Once again, Cinder is absolutely massive.
Don't think the Sejuani ulti was necessary there. Might have been a bit of overkill, but hey, securing the kill is nice.
Will definitely lead to a free Herald off of the back of that.
Yeah, definitely a better return call than the one last game.
Absolutely a little bit safer. May also pick up the mid tower here. We've got Jin top, Anivia in base, and Lee Sin doing his wolves. Only the Nami there. Mundo opts not to push it, but only the Nami there to really answer that mid lane push.
And mid tower currently under threat. Might see a rip tower pop before that second tower.
I think the smarter decision here would be for them to back off and just reset. Use the Baron recall, or the enhanced recall I should say, from the buff, and look to maybe fight and use that Herald to end the game, but not really, not too much pressure. They are resetting.
And yeah, Gold Lead definitely 4-ish, 3.5k by the side of Skyward. Not insurmountable, but with the comp we've kind of been constantly talking about all game for being slightly less than optimal, that gold lead isn't what you want to see if you're on the side of push.
Looks like we got Jin there threatening his teammate with the theft of the blue buff. Sejuani looking for some, looking for maybe a pick on it to Lee Sin, but Lee's manages to leap to the Anivia over the wall to safety. And just saying, give me that scuttle crab.
Yep. Good crab, fine crab, dragon spawning, comet dropping.
Oh, Mundo gets pinned in by the wall, stuck in the Anivia ult, pops his ultimate, flashes away, drags Lee with him, gets kicked, but just too tanky. Rakan misses his RW and ends up in the middle of the enemy team with no way out, goes down to a Nami auto attack. Flash forward from the Nami, lands the double bubble. Xayah ultimate to get away. Lands a good blade collar onto the Anivia. Looks like Skyward may have to back off here.
Yeah, so that's actually another way to win fights I hadn't considered.
A lot of damage onto the Anivia, almost blows her passive. Ultimate coming out, blows up the Lee Sin. Definitely denying the ability to do Dragon. Smart targeting there from the Syndra. Looking for the Rise, 3 out of the 4 stacks, gets the knockup, stun, blown up by the Syndra once again. Man, that Syndra is just tearing through the front line for Mirage.
Yeah, and that is going to be an Infernal going over the side of Sky. Pretty big, considering Mirage really wanted that Infernal. I mean, granted, everyone always wants Infernal, but especially on this comp, with everyone being a damage dealer. But to go back to the beginning of that fight, that is possibly another way Mirage can manage to win fights. They walled off a single member, and even though it was Ado, the tankiest member on the side of Skyward, since they were able to drop an Ignite and just have all 5 focus him, they weren't nearly able to finish him off. Now if you could imagine if that was just Dirk or Babs, and they managed to blow them up, that would be absolutely huge.
Handing over the blue buff to Syndra. Ado's still stocking up on all that MR. It'll be real hard for that Rise to get through. RW coming out from their con, looking for the Rise. Ado walks up on him. Damage coming from the Zayas, just enough. Popping the Rift Herald, maybe looking for a couple of turrets here. Oh, Syndra getting caught. Sitting in the Nibia ultimate. Goes down to the Nami. That's a huge pick.
Yeah, that 8-kill shutdown that's going on to Kitty. That is a feels bad because I think Kitty stole that with the heal bounce there. And had Vice pick that up, that would have been a 900 gold shutdown for him and really helped bring him back in this game. So 900 gold would be nearly enough for him to finish that series. Because keep in mind, both the AP carries on the side of Mirage haven't completed their Serifs yet, and once they complete that, then they can start looking to itemize into that
I think a pretty major itemization here from the Nami, going for the Ardent Sensor Rush item. Despite the fact that she's partnered with a Jhin who can't use the attack speed from that very well, and can't abuse the on-hit magic damage whatsoever.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's always been, like, questionable. Because if you recall from the pretty heavy Ardent Sensor meta last year, it definitely lowered the priority of Jhin and Ezreal because they can't make use of it. Because, Jhin can't. Well, he doesn't make use of it.
Huge damage there from the Syndra. Lee Sin jumps away, barely managing to avoid the Sejuani ultimate. Syndra's still sitting on her R.
Yeah, keep in mind, that was just basic abilities from Babs. That wasn't even using his ultimate or anything else.
Looks like we might have a tower siege here. Lands with stun on the Anivia, not sure they can blow him up. RW coming out from Rakan gets a 3-man charm. Is Anivia going to be going down to the Zaya here? Maybe not quite enough damage. Syndra managing to toss her W on, pick up the kill, but Sejuani drops to the Jhin at the same time.
Yep, Minion's gonna finish off one techie there.
Oh, big stun. Goes down to the Rakan. Too far of a step up there for the Lee. Can't walk up on that Syndra. She's just too strong.
Yeah, especially if you have no MR and just a giant spell towards the belt. It just feels
Huge amount of disrespect from Mirage there.
Yeah, it feels like for the past minute and a half we've just seen Easy Breezy going in with the Rakan, popping someone up, and then they just blow up. Or Babs lands a stun and they blow up.
Syndra just absolutely ripping through that Mirage comp. People just walking up, expecting to maybe be able to outplay her, but landing a single Q on that Jhin and taking 60% of his HP, you just can't afford to play games with that type of damage.
Because this is a 3-item Syndra with the Morellos and the penetration boots, so he's should be doing about 2 damage to Yesh. Well, before Yesh purchased that null magic mantle.
I think that that Banshee's Veil may be the final straw for the Syndra. Just disables a lot of the Mirage ability to get on top of her. Will block the Anivia stun. Well, I'm not sure. Does Anivia stun count as 2 parts? Does it block the actual stun itself, or does it block the Q initially hitting you?
I don't know. Anivia has weird interactions with spell blockers, because, like...
Well, misses the RW, looking for the Rise. Manages to cancel the ultimate, can't get out. Zaya picks that one up.
Yeah, so fun fact about Anivia wall, you can actually proc bone plating with it. I don't know if they changed that, but I know at least as of a few patches ago you could pop someone's bone plating with it, which was kind of funny.
Lee Sin just walking into the Syndra, not realizing she's there. Good prediction! Predicts the flash and picks him off.
Yeah, Bab's looking into his future seeing orb there. See where APT would be after that flash.
This is going to absolutely be the free Baron going over to the Skyward Academy here.
Popping your mask does DQ. Yeah. Could be.
No, they changed the rules on that one. Allowed to use emotes, not allowed to use the champion dances.
Okay. Because I know, so at Virginia Tech, our school's league team, the A team, we had one match where we lost 3 bans because our top lane player wouldn't stop spamming Mastery even after he's told not to. So yeah, little fun fact.
Yeah, I had a couple incidents last season with teams losing bans off of emote usage before they changed the rule.
Oh hey, another Infernal, okay. So now with Baron and 2 Infernals, and a 9k gold lead, this should be a easy closeout from the side of Skyward. So it's just a matter of time, I would assume.
No cowbell, unfortunately. Not in this league. Cowbell is actually what caused the ban loss I was talking about last season.
Oh god, imagine if you're paused during that. Just tong 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 tong.
Can't imagine the tilt levels that would be induced by that type of abuse. Looking for the R, Rise gets caught out, immediately popped by that Xayah. Xayah's really starting to hurt Syndra, looking for more damage, still walking up on her, just can't do that. Continue to walk straight into the mouth of that Syndra.
Yeah, fun fact, if a Syndra is forming on, she hurts.
Window 2 tanky.
Yeah, thing is, Ado still does not have armor, so there's at least a chance APT and Niche can damage him. Speaking of APT, kind of going into 4 people dying.
Getting a little desperate, gets the lock up on the Anivia, not quite enough. Oh my! Massive damage on that Nami. Just, the Syndra is so fed.
Yeah, that was a QE and auto. Maybe a comp.
Another stun, shot out, not quite enough. Stuns up the cannon though. Maybe looking for an end here. They definitely have the damage. Can they finish it off before the Lee Sin spawns? 2 seconds before Lee Sin's up, lands the stun on the Sejuani. 2 tanky still. Between the Mundo and the Sejuani, they just can't get through. Looks like the Skyward Academy team will be able to end the game here, and that's it.
Yep, 2 off both sides of Skyward. Pretty convincing game 2. Yeah, you want to do an interview? Or no?
Yeah, we can do an interview.
Alright, let's go into interview. Casted by 2 because that's the layer for interview. Who are you interviewing?
My, look at that Syndra damage. Syndra did more damage than the top 2 damage dealers from Mirage combined.
Oh, right, I should probably update the score. Is it this one? Yes. 2. There we go. If we don't have a reply within, like, a minute, I'll just close the stream. But yeah, pretty convincing game. Got 13 kills on that Syndra. Okay, we're getting Ado and Babs to interview. How do we drag them in here? Because I don't have permissions.
Let me see if I can do it. Not really sure if I can.
Maybe we just do like a private call. That might be easier.
Yeah, I definitely can't move them myself.
Alright, let's just do a private call then. Oh, God. Start a conversation.
I just sent you a friend request. I'm friends with them already, so I'm able to do that.
Okay,
You'll accept my friend
that'll probably
request.
be easier because I'm only friends with Easy Breezy. All right. Sorry for the slight delay in the interview to our 40 faithful viewers. Recently dropped from 43. Just waiting on the players to come in here. Speaking of the players coming in here, the players have come in here.
Hello
Alright.
there.
Alright, so congrats on the win there. Any thoughts you guys had on game 1 and game 2?
Game 2, I just passed the torch to my friends Babs here.
Yeah.
I think overall, we just played more to our strengths as a team, like the grouping and team fighting, around the stronger top side and stuff. Just playing around the best part of our team.
So I have to ask you about that. The dominating performance on Syndra game 2. Could you tell the difference between Syndra's early game, pre and post the buffs that just rolled out today?
20 damage buff.
It feels a lot different actually, because you can clear waves a lot easier than you could before. And when you're put in a farm lane that's just back and forth wave clear, you're allowed to get to your level 9, which is where like the power really comes in when you get that passive evolution.
Alright, and at Babs, so game 1 you kind of had an interesting strategy of where you were behind and kept going in lane. Was that just due to your confidence on Echo, or?
The Orianna matchup is one that Echo has to pressure early to win. So even though I died early, Orianna never backed, so I was still able to press as though I was even in lane.
Mm-hmm.
And once she did back, we punished her afterwards by killing her. And after that, just came back into the game and we grouped up as a team.
So, Addo, game 1, when you looked for that first kill on the Camille, it was a pretty close fight. What gave you the confidence that you could manage to get that remount before she finished you off?
Gotta say, I don't particularly remember the first kill because I had so many of them. Is that the when I flashed her E? I don't know.
I believe no. I believe it was the fight after you flashed her E, and you looked for the all-in in the middle of her minion wave. Managed to get a remount with a little bit under 100 HP remaining.
I really don't know. I'm sorry. I remember I flashed her E, but then I chase her down and kill her then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like about 15-20 seconds later.
I guess that's what happened. I knew I gotta step up for the team here. I gotta carry him, so I gotta get the mechanics top notch. So I went for the aggressive flash. I never usually do that stuff.
Well, it definitely ended up in your favor.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts about how the two top lanes went?
In like both games?
Yeah.
But his Rise pick gave me a run for my money there, certainly, because Lee Sin had a pretty nice gank, and he was able to perma push the wave in game 2. But game 1, he seemed pretty uncomfortable on Camille, and I exposed that.
Alrighty then. You got anything else to ask, other Jack?
No, I think that's about it for me.
Alright, you guys have anything you want to say to our viewers before we head off?
Are we finally ending the reverse sweep every game?
I mean, it's only been 2 games.
Right,
I mean,
but it's only been
maybe
1 game you haven't won with it.
I know. Maybe next series, we'll see. If we lose game 1, you'll know we won the series.
Alright, well,
For sure.
Thanks for coming on thanks for coming for the interview, and congrats on the 2 again. We're gonna be signing off here from Nightfall. Hope you guys have a good night.